I know we do folks, your boy, Mo's on 205 numbers after the name. A little Freestyle Friday action over here, man. A little Dark Souls 3 action, showing you a little bit pre-boss fights, even, because I felt this was kind of important strategy to knock these guys out of the way before you get into the boss fight. This was strange, man. This fight's there's a lot of weird fights in Dark Souls 3, I've noticed. There's some like gimmicky ones, but there's just a lot of like weird stuff. Like oftentimes when you're playing this game, if you play it long enough, you'll kind of know like when a boss fight's coming up. You kind of have like an idea. It's like, all right, I made it through this area. I got this. We got like a shortcut, you know, back to the beginning. Might be a boss fight coming up. This one I didn't feel like it was gonna be boss. Like I kind of just walked into this area and I saw this huge tree thing. And I'm like, all right, that's kind of strange. Well, that thing's gonna attack me. And then a boss fight started. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you start hitting them, and I wasn't really getting that much damage and stuff. And I'm like, man, what's going on over here? But he has these kind of like, I guess for lack of a better word, like eggs things attached to him and whatnot. So you want to attack those and hit those, and then that's what actually causes the damage over here. He has a little bit of an AoE attack as well, and when you get downstairs, it gets a little bit worse. So I kind of got up to this point, and like I said in my previous video, they picked up a lot from Bloodborne, where it's just like the fights change kind of halfway through. So you're fighting them, and all of a sudden you're just dropping all the way down. You're like, whoa! Thankfully, no fall damage, though, because or else that would have been pretty shitty. Imagine if there's, like, fall damage here, man. You just die because of that. Like, that's not cool. And over here, you kind of have to angle to hit these eggs. This is another one of those fights where I would recommend just stay as close to the guy as possible and attack as much as you can, obviously. But just kind of stay, if you're staying close, you're going to avoid, I'd say, like, I don't know, 80% of his attacks. Obviously, watch out for this hand thing where he eats you. That ain't really the best thing on earth. But this one wasn't too tough. I think I like third tried it. The first time I kind of died. Just I had no clue what the hell was happening. The second time I figured out, all right, you hit him over here. But I think he stopped on me because his attacks are pretty strong. And then the third time I came down and over here. The issue I had the most was like the stuff on his hands isn't that difficult. There's one on like the back over here that I kind of had a little bit of an issue just because I can't like really reach like sometimes. So he needs to kind of fall back a little bit for you to be able to hit him. You could kind of lure him into that, which is what I kind of ended up doing. But even so, like you have to be careful because he just kind of falls on his back. So if he's gonna like fall on you, it's a little bit difficult to kind of explain. You're gonna have to go through it. I mean, you can see it over here in the footage, but you kind of want to make sure that when you do have that window where he falls back and gets back up, and you haven't taken any damage, like you're not like recovering or coming back up. That you get in there and you smack those eggs. That might be your only shot at really doing it like that whole time. Like there might not be too many other opportunities for you to kind of get in there and get those like back ones. Those are the ones I had the biggest issue with. The front I felt like are pretty easy if you kind of stay close to them and just avoid that attack that comes over there. And the hand ones and the arm ones to me are pretty simple as well. You got to be careful for the attacks, obviously, of those, you know, shield up or whatnot. I double-handed at some points over here because I wanted the extra range with my sword. I imagine if you're using maybe like a halberd or something, you could even like hit it a little bit further up than what I was able to do. But I double-handed with the sword just because I wanted a little more damage, and I was confident that my roll would be able enough to like save me from any stuff like that. So get comfortable with it, feel around a little bit, but that's kind of what I ended up doing over here, man. And my dude was nothing more. Get that air, the fire destroyed, I mean.